the Science Kid. Salam, man the Science Kid هستم. Today I'm going to be doing a video in both English and Farsi. امروز میخوام یه ویدیو درست کنم توی فارسی و انگلیسی. I'm going to do this because my dad is Iranian, my mom is not, but I feel it is important to educate people about what's happening in Iran, which, if many of you don't know, there's a lot going on there. من خیلی میخواستم یه ویدیو درست کنم چون که پدرم ایرانی هستش و میخوام به آدم و بچه ها دیگه یاد بگیرن توی ایران چی شد، چی میشه، چی میخوان بکنن، اینجور چیزها. و واسه من خیلی میخواستم بکنم و میدونستم باید بکنم. So to start off, I will sing a song that went viral, and after that I will analyze the song with you, and I will explain a little bit about what the song means, why Shervin Hajpur wrote the song, and what happens in Iran. این آهنگ اولین کار که میخوام بکنم یه آهنگ میخوام بخونم. این آهنگ خیلی مردم میدونن چون که پروتست ایران خیلی بزرگ شده و بعد از اون میخوام واسه مردم ها که انگلیسی حرف میزنن بگم آهنگش راجب چیه. بعد میخوام راجب پروتست حرف بزنم، بگم چی شد و اینجور چیزا. The song that I'm going to be singing today is called Baraye, and it is really popular. امروز میخوام آهنگ برایه بخونم. Baraye means for or because of, and it is by Shervin Hajpur. آهنگ برایه شروین حاجپور درست کرده. And then I will explain more. So without further ado, here we go. بعد از اون میخوام راجع به پروتست حرف بزنم ولی الان میخوام آهنگ بخونم.
برای توی کوچه رقصیدن، برای ترسیدن به وقت بوسیدن، برای خواهرم، خواهرت، خواهرامون، برای تغییر مغزها که پوسیدن، برای توی کوچه رقصیدن، برای ترسیدن به وقت بوسیدن، برای خواهرم، خواهرت، خواهرامون،
برای تغییر مغزها که پوسیدن، برای شرمندگی، برای بیپولی، برای حسرت زندگی معمولی، برای کودک زباله‌گر و آرزوهاش، برای این احتسای دستوری، برای این هوای آلوده، برای ولیعصر و درختای فرسوده، برای پیروز و احتمال انقراضش، برای سگ‌های بیگناه ممنوعه، برای گریه های بی‌وقته، برای تاثیر تکرار این لحظه، برای چهره‌ای که میخنده، برای جان شابوزا، برای آینده، برای هیچ چشمانی، برای لقمه های زندانی، برای کودکان افغانی، برای این همه برای تکراری، برای این همه شعالهای تو خالی، برای آواز خونه های پوشالی، برای احساس آرامش، برای خورشید و شبان طولانی، برای گلها و عطرها و بیخوابی، میهن آبادی برای دختری که آرزو داشت پسر بود. برای زن زندگی آزادی. برای آزادی. برای آزادی. So, one quick announcement before I go any further. واسه همه ایرانی ها اگر نمیخوای این explanation رو این توی واسه مردم های انگلیسی حرف بزنم، من همینجا یه نمره میذارم که اگر میخوای میشه تا اونجا بکنی. So, thank you for listening to that song, and I appreciate that you've watched this far. Keep staying tuned because now I'm going to explain what the song actually means. Okay, without further ado, I'll share the analyzation. So the first lyric is برای توی کوچه رقصیدن, which roughly can translate to for dancing in the streets or alleys, because in Iran it is in fact illegal to dance in the street or the alley or in public or really whatever. The next lyric is برای ترسیدن به وقت بوسیدن. That translates roughly. All of these are rough. I'm just not going to say roughly anymore, but like all of these are rough. So that translates to because of the fear of kissing somebody in public. Because it is in Iran illegal to kiss in public. Yeah, you really can't do anything in public in Iran. And then the next one is برای خواهرم خواهرت خواهرامون. That means because of our form. My sister, your sister, all of our sisters. Pretty straightforward. The next one is برای تغییر مغزها که پوسیدن. That means for the changing of minds that have gone rotten. The changing of the rotten mind. And that refers to the government, which is not making life easy in Iran, to say the least. And the next one is Baraye. So we have برای توی کوچه رقصیدن, برای ترسیدن به وقت بوسیدن, برای خواهرم خواهرت خواهرامون, برای تغییر مغزها که پوشیدن, برای شرمندگی, برای بیپولی. So برای شرمندگی, برای بیپولی is our next lyric, and that is roughly for the shame of not having any money or being poor. But a good example would be like if you're a dad or a mom or a parent and your child comes home and you know they're hungry, even though your child is not saying anything, being very nice, but you know they're hungry and you don't have any food for them. So that's kind of like sort of what it means. And the next one is برای حسرت زندگی معمولی, which means for the wishing of an ordinary life, but like you know that wish isn't gonna come true. The wishing of ordinary life, even though the knowing that it's not gonna happen in ordinary life. And then the next one is برای توی کوچه رقصیدن برای ترسید. I'm just gonna go from like halfway. I'm gonna go like برای تحقیق مغزها که پوسیدن، برای شرمندگی، برای بیپولی، برای حسش زندگی معمولی. Next one is برای کودک زباله‌گر و آرزوهاش. This is for the childs and their dreams, but not just like any child, like a child laborer, like a kid in poverty who works to support their family. That can range anywhere from like working in a factory to collecting garbage and selling that to make money. So there's a wide range, and yeah, that's really sad. But like I said, if you can just educate people a little bit about that, that will help a lot, and that won't make it any less sad, but that will at least might help from some people to get over that, and that might just make the world better. You can just make somebody's day better. Everybody says that, like, if you make someone laugh, you succeeded today, or make one person smile today, something like that. And it's similar, but I think you should just, if you can educate people, they will educate other people, and that'll keep the chain moving. It can move across a long ways. So that's just one way to help the world and spread anything viral. And I guess, well, not as I had said, but this video just went viral. Not this video. The video of Sherman Hajipur singing Baraye went viral, and he had no idea. But yeah. And so the next lyric is برای تحقیق مغزها که پوسیدن، برای شرمندگی، برای بیپولی، برای حسرت زندگی معمولی، برای کودک زباله‌گر و آرزوهاش، برای این احتسای دستوری. That means this very tight grasp of the government, this very withholding, controlling government economy in China. I'll go from برای کودک زباله‌گر آرزوهاش. So برای کودک زباله‌گر آرزوهاش، برای شرمندگی، برای بیپولی، برای حسرت زندگی معمولی، برای cut. It's okay, fine. Don't cut it. برای این احتسای دستوری، برای این هوای آلوده. That literally means like this polluted air or bad air that we breathe or something along those lines. So برای کودک زباله‌گر آرزوهاش، برای این احتسای دستوری، برای این هوای آلوده، برای ولیعصر و درختای فرسوده. So there's this street in Iran called Valiasro, and they used to have the most gorgeous, beautiful, huge trees, but the government has started poor management of that, and they I guess the trees are all dying. So that like means for Vanias and all the dying trees that used to be beautiful. And Next is برای کودک زباله‌گر آرزوهاش، برای این اقتصاد دستوری، برای این هوای آلوده، برای ولیعصر اقتصاد فرسوده، برای پیروز و احتمال انقراضش. So پیروز, which is in the lyric, is a kind of cheetah that is limited to now only living in Iran, and sadly is pretty likely to go extinct. So that means for all the cheetahs and their possible extinction. Likely extinction. And the next one is برای پیروز و احتمال انقراضش، برای سگ‌های بیگناه ممنوعه. This is really sad for all of my animal lovers, dog lovers. So in Iran, it's illegal to own a dog, which I know happens in a lot of other countries. But in Iran, they went pretty extreme, and street dogs, like stray dogs, were massacred by the government, and the government kind of killed them all. Dark. Which is very sad, but again, your best option is to educate people. So I really, really hope you do that, and yeah, I really hope we can turn the tables a little bit. But yeah, so that means for all the innocent street dogs. And then Baraye, where was I? Oh yeah, street dogs. Wait, what? برای پیروز و احتمال انقراضش، برای سگ‌های بیگناه ممنوعه، برای This one's pretty straightforward. برای گریه‌های بی‌وقفه, for these tears that never end. Because, yeah. I wouldn't say everything that's happening is happy. And the next one is برای پیروز و احتمال انقراضش، برای سگ‌های بیگناه ممنوعه، برای گریه‌های بی‌وقفه، برای تصویر تکرار این لحظه. So, the government in Iran has made a lot of mistakes. I call them mistakes. And so there is a girl and her mom were on a plane. They were Iranian, and she was a little girl, like my age, and she was on a plane, but the government mistook it for a Ukrainian plane, and they shot it down, and she was killed along with like 175 other passengers. So that was really, really sad. And the lyric, so the original song, which I will put the link to some kind of original song in the description, but the original song has tweets under it that are in Farsi, and the tweet that's under this one has a picture of Rira, who is the girl who was killed in the airplane, and her dad sitting on the couch, both reading the newspaper. And the lyric is, for the longing to recreate this moment, or for the recreation of this moment, which of course can't happen, which is really sad. Her dad's still alive, but she isn't, and neither is her mom. So that's really sad. And so next, برای پیروز و احتمال انقراضش، برای سگ‌های بیگناه ممنوعه، برای گریه‌های بی‌وقفه، برای تصویر تکرار این لحظه، برای چهره‌ای که میخنده. This one might be my favorite lyric. This one is pretty straightforward, and might be the only happy thing. It is for all the small smiling faces, or for seeing a smiling face, which is really sweet and pretty straightforward. برای سگ‌های بیگناه ممنوعه، برای گریه‌های بی‌وقفه، برای تفسیر تکرار این لحظه، برای جهری که میخنده، برای جام شبز، برای جام شبز ها، برای آینده. So this one is for all the students and what their future will become, or in the future. Pretty straightforward. برای I'll go from some works. برای جهری که میخنده، برای جام شابوزا، برای آینده. برای جام شابوزا، برای آینده، برای این بهشت اجباری. So that might cause a lot of confusion. That is for this heaven. And it's literally put in quotation marks. It means for this promised heaven that the dictator promised us, and it has, to say the least, not turned out to be a heaven. So that's why it's for this mandatory heaven. And برای جهری که میخنده، برای دانش آموزا، برای آینده، برای این بهشت اجباری، برای لقمه های زندگانی. That means all the smart people or geniuses or honor roll students in jail, prison. برای جهری که میخنده، برای دانش آموزا، برای آینده، برای این بهشت اجباری، برای لقمه های زندانی، برای کودکان افغانی. For the Afghani children. برای کودکان افغانی، برای این همه، برای غیر تکراری. That means for all these because of or fors that never end and never repeat, meaning they never end, pretty obvious. And never repeat doesn't mean like don't go on, but means like not one of them is the same. There's so many that they never end, and not even one of them is the same, which is saying a lot. And برای کودکان افغانی، برای لقمه های زندانی، برای کودکان افغانی، برای این همه، برای غیر تکراری، برای این همه شعارهای توخالی. That means like for all these empty chants or meaningless chants, which is not like the chants in protests like زندگی, آزادی, or anything like that. That means like in school or anywhere, people may be forced to like chant like slogans that the dictator wants them to, and they have no choice. Like, for example, Magbar America, meaning death to America, which they're forced to chant. They do not want to chant, and nobody should be blamed for that. برای این همه، برای غیر تکراری، برای این همه شعارهای سوخالی، برای آواز خونه‌های پوشالی. So this one actually has a story. So the government wants money, and so they told construction workers to build a bunch of houses, and then afterward, the government is supposed to be required to check to make sure the house, somebody can live in the house, but they said, like, go make a house and Like, you don't have to make it sturdy. Just make, like, a bunch of houses. It's okay if it's not sturdy. We'll just say it's fine. So they said it's fine, and people went in there, and it collapsed on their heads, and they died. Because the government didn't check them, because they didn't want to, because they wanted lots of money. Totally not selfish, right? Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. And next is برای این همه برای غیر تکراری برای این همه شعارهای تو خالی برای آواز خونه‌های پوشالی برای احساس آن. Oh wait, I forgot to do the next one. So the one about the houses, that's for all the flimsy houses that collapsed. خونه‌های پوشالی برای wait, what? Go back. برای این همه برای غیر تکراری برای این همه شعارهای تو خالی برای آواز خونه‌های پوشالی برای احساس آرامش. The feeling of peace. That's the next lyric. احساس آرامش برای خورشید پس از شبان طولانی. This one's metaphorical. For the sun after very long dark nights. برای آواز خونه‌های پوشالی برای احساس آرامش برای خورشید پس از شبان طولانی. Key change. برای گوزها و اعصاب و بیخوابی. This is for sleeping pills and sleepless nights. That's literally the lyric. احساس آرامش برای خورشید پس از شبان طولانی برای گرسا و اعصاب و بیخوابی برای. This one's interesting. For man, homeland, renewing. The protesters have cut. The protesters have two main chants. Well, the main one is زندگی آزادی, and they have many other, like so many. I'm not even going to try and go into those, even though that would be very interesting. And the next one is مرد میهن آبادی, which is what I said. For برای مرد میهن آبادی, that's the lyric, and there's the chant in comparison. So, like they say, زندگی آزادی مرد میهن آبادی. That's the chant. And so that's it. It means like renewing the country, basically. And so the next lyric is برای دختری که آرزو داشت پسر بود. That means for the girl who wished she was a boy. This is not about like transgender or anything. This is much more straightforward. This is actually for the girl who wished she had the privileges of a boy. And that's it. And then the next lyric is, so we have برای دختری که آرزو داشت پسر بود. And here's the finale. Let's see if you can guess what it means based on what I've already told you. And based on what you've heard. And based on what you are about to hear. برای زندگی آزادی برای آزادی برای آزادی So that is literally the chance, that one that everybody's been saying, for woman, life, freedom. Well, that's the best way to describe it. And then after that, برای آزادی, برای آزادی, برای آزادی. That's for freedom, for freedom, for freedom. And my setup today, I made it. I don't want to move because of the focus, but I made the setup. I'm just gonna. And now I'm gonna talk about the protests, and this is gonna be really difficult because the protests aren't really happy. And so I know I've been smiling, I'm trying to, but this is actually really sad and really important. And so I really need to talk about this. So following the death of a 22 or 3-year-old girl named Mahsa Amini, and that sparked a series of protests, and mostly what most of the people want to be able to do is to be able to vote or have a voice or part in the government and how they're ruled, which the current leader makes it very hard to do. Trust me, I've tried to find every loophole possible, and it's impossible. So don't try. Literally, if you want to become like a president, I don't know, like council member or whatever, the guy has to approve of you. So if he doesn't approve of you, you don't get in and you can't change anything. And his setup is basically made to not be changed. So, yeah. It's scary. So, Mahsa Amini was wearing a headscarf, but she wasn't wearing it properly, I guess. Well, I don't guess. The mortality police pulled her over, threw her in the back of a bus. In that process, she banged her head and fell into a coma. And 3 days later, she died in custody. And the police say it was a heart attack, or she had or she had health problems, but her family denies that. And also, what kind of 23 or 22-year-old dies of a heart attack? Yeah, I didn't think so. And so that sparked it. And after that, there's been so many deaths, I don't even want to talk about it. So many children have been dying, and their families are really sad. These are people, you guys. You can't treat them like animals. It's just, nothing's right, and you need a help, but like, I don't think I can help. I'm just one small, useless child. But I know that doesn't have to be the truth. Because as I've been saying, if I think I'm one small, useless child, and someone else thinks they're one small, useless child, and someone over there, and over there, and over there, and maybe even you, if we all band together, we're not small, useless children anymore. We're powerful, pretty powerful children. All we need to do is catch the attention of people who have bigger audience, and that sparks it, and hopefully we can build from there. Because, you know, this is kind of two questions. So one is, a long time ago there was this thing called, well, not a long time ago for me, there was this thing called the Iranian Revolution, and it's basically they got a new form of government. One of the main questions is that going to happen again? And it very likely could. There's been so many studies on that. And the next question is one that I credit to my dad, and lots of people may have the same question, so I'm not going to credit it too much, but sorry, that sounded weird. The next question is, since the government's killing people so much, the real question is the government willing to kill more people, or are the people willing to be killed more? And that's just depressing to think about, but this is stuff we need to think about. As I'm getting older, I need to start getting into tougher subjects, and this is one of them. And I'm very passionate because these are, they're people. There's people out there who are living off the streets of a country that does not have streets. So what do you think they're doing? You can spend 5 minutes of your day just talking to someone, and then you'll make the world so much better. There's like 1 million people out there, and they need our help. More than 1 million people, and there's like half of those people have already starting to been killed. Injuries, or even more than that. There's people who have been traumatized. There's children, elderly, people who've lived with it their whole life, and there's people who are young and just really want a life. Not young like my kind of young, like young when my dad says young and it means 23. People who are younger, like 23-year-olds who are just starting to become an adult and they just want a life. Kids like me, or maybe you, or adults, or I don't care who you are. If you're a dog, who cares? I don't mean to call you a dog, but like, if you can be anyone and you can still help. You're 90, you're 50, you're 20, you're 9, you're 13, you're 15. It really doesn't matter. And this is really frustrating because so many people are having such a hard time, and you could just devote 5 minutes every day, just talking to someone, educating them, and that will eventually make a world a better place. I'm telling you, just try to do it. It doesn't even have to be 1 minute. And chances are you're already doing that already, which is great. But it's even when you're just talking to a friend and your friend's like, I wonder how they make flour. And you happen to know how they make flour. So you're like telling a friend how they make flour. And so that contributes, and that is good enough. It can be at lunchtime, recess. You don't have to be a child. You can be 28-year-old, like I said, and you can be going to your work and your colleague like says something. Well, answer that question. And this is really frustrating because people are going through a lot and they deserve to be treated like people. So I guess my message for you is, if you can educate, do that. It does not take time. It is not time consuming. It is not boring. So you can't say that. If it's hard, I understand that you might not want to do it because it's hard. And it's okay that it's hard for you, or if it is. But what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, and what doesn't kill you makes everybody stronger. I promise no harm will be done. Just do it, okay? It's not that hard. You can do it. I believe in you. And that's really all I wanted to say. Thanks for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. Muchas gracias. Thank you so much. خیلی ممنون. And bye. Ciao. خداحافظ.